My name is Megan Maddox. I serve as the People and Culture Champion here at PCC. The team that I am on is called the SEC, or Some Executive Committee. We love our funny naming conventions, so that's awesome. Also, lots of teammates in the room today. We've got Emily and Grace, who are also on a team caring for PCC. So it's our job to do everything from benefits to the HR stuff, but we don't really use that. Of course, we do all the HR compliance, but we tend to be more people-focused and taking care of the employee, as you'll see. Okay, just making sure the chat is good. So today's session, I'm going to talk for a little bit, maybe under 10 minutes. I practiced a few times for my pets. So maybe under 10 minutes. And then what we're really going to do is help you build something awesome for your practice. And that's where the building stuff, the building materials come in. You'll work for about 10 minutes alone, and then I'll have you pair up, and then we'll come back to a big group too and talk about it. So, all right, ready to go? All right. So, objectives today. I'll talk about what employee engagement is and why it's important. And then, as I just kind of said, but I'll say again, because repeating is good, assess your practice's current employee engagement strategy based on a few theories that I'm going to talk through, and then create a plan to improve it. Bring something back to your practice. All right, so when we say what is employee engagement, there could be so many different things. This is obviously not a full list, but these are the things that come to mind to me. So having connection to your place of work. Do you want to go there every day? Throughout my career, I have always known that I need to, when I dread getting out of bed, I'm like, oh, time to do something else, right? So you want to get up, you want to go there, want to see the people. Fulfillment from doing your job. This doesn't mean that things are easy all the time, but it means that I learned something, or I feel like I helped someone, or whatever that is for you, that's happening. Enthusiasm and dedication. So enthusiasm may come in different forms, right? I'm in software development. Not everyone is a morning person. I've learned that throughout my career. I've had to say, when they're like, Megan, tone down the good mornings. I'm like, okay, I got you. But maybe coding something or solving a problem gets other people enthused. And then role clarity is huge. So this is the understanding. You know what your mission is when you're going to work. You have the skills and the tools to get the job done. And then last but not least here is meeting people where they are and setting them up for success. For example, in your practice, you may have someone who's been there for 10 plus years, 20 years, and they're going to have different needs than a new MA who just started, maybe fresh in their career, who's never worked in a practice before, never worked in an office, and it's like, they have to learn those cultural norms. So it's understanding that and meeting people where they are. All right, I'm going to talk a little bit about my mission and then tie it into my recommendation for your mission, or what your mission could be. I say, I don't even know if this is correct grammar, but I will often rattle off, I just want people to want to come to work every day. There's a lot of wants in there, but we corrected that grammar. Help people want to come to work every day. So, and then for you all, we kind of look at this tiered approach of when you take care of employees, they can take care of themselves, and you'll see this in the two theories I'm going to talk about. They can take care of themselves, and when we're taken care of, then they can take care of each other, and in turn, ultimately, really the patients that you all serve. So yes. All right, so the first theory. Will you raise your hand if you've heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Okay, if you haven't, totally cool. This is not specifically work-related, but it's more of a framework of how people are taken care of and able to provide for others. So we start, can you get me on the camera? I'm going to start at the bottom, because the theory is essentially if it grows to the top, you need these things in order to go to those, and so on and so forth. So I have that screen clipping, and then I also have, I've mapped it to how this could be applied to the workplace. So starting at the bottom, the base, the foundational level, we have psychological needs. You need air, water, food, clothing, right? If you don't have that, you can't get yourself to work. But be much harder. Not that you can't. I don't mean to be an all or nothing, but it's harder. So if we think about psychological needs in the workplace, people have a a livable wage. They have benefits. They have the skills needed to get their job done. Then as we go up the pyramid, safety needs. Personal security, employment is in there. Resources, health, property. So safety needs I mapped as a safe work environment. So physically safe, but also psychologically safe. Can I say when I'm having a hard time? Can I ask for help when I need it? And job security. Yeah, that's really important. I know in times or when I read articles, when people will leave if they're scared that their job is gone. I've worked for a publicly traded company in the past where that's why a lot of people left. So you want to make sure people feel good, feel secure. All right, going up the chain, love and belonging. So remember, this applies to life as a whole, friendship, intimacy, family, sense of connection. And I put that over as positive work relationships. Again, do you want to go and hang out with those people? I mean, we're working 40 hours a week in a physical space. That's likely more time than you're spending with your family members. It's good to want to be around them and to be able to work through conflict and stuff. And love is, I don't necessarily mean like intimate husband, relationship love, but love, do I want to be there? Do I want to sit down and eat lunch with you? That kind of stuff. All right, as we go up, next is esteem. So respect, self-esteem, status, recognition, strength, and freedom. Applying that to the workplace, we think of autonomy and learning opportunities. So autonomy, do I have someone looking over my shoulder and checking everything that I do? Or have I been given those skills and now I'm like, I can just go do it? And say, hey, I don't know if I did this right. That's autonomy, but also able to say when I need to learn something new and grow. And then the tippy top of the pyramid is self-actualization. So the desire to become the most one can be. And I follow a lot of like this kind of stuff on social media. And someone that I admire very much said, let's get rid of the bring your whole self to work. There was the time and place for that. Let's talk about bringing our most evolved self to work. Because that is emotional intelligence, it's soft skills, it's not taking things personally and saying, oh gosh, are you having a hard time right now? Why is that? Instead of, I don't know why they're being mean again. I mean, I've done those things, I'm not perfect. But it's thinking about that, getting training around that. So yeah, any questions on that before I just keep going? No? All right. Oh, and check in the chat, no more typing, so we're good. All right, so there's Maslow. Now Hirschberg's two-factor theory. Another American psychologist, and he took Maslow's theory and applied it directly to work. So this is it took human needs and straight to the workplace. So you'll see some mirroring here. It's also known as the motivation hygiene theory. We could come up with a more catchy name. Fun facts about him, because of course I go on the Wikipedia page, I can't help it. He is married to a pediatrician, so we always love that. I was like, I'm on the right track here. This is great. All right, so let's look at that one. So this one is more of two categories. So instead of that, the hierarchy of the pyramid, we're looking at a foundation and then motivators. So really, you need those foundational pieces in place, and then the motivators will bring in even more engagement and joy. All right, so work relationships, practice policies, and I would even go to say, well, this is from resources that I use to pull this from. That's that role clarity coming in. Do I know what my job description is? Physical workspace. I heard I was the course assistant for one of Chip's tips earlier this week, and something great that he said is, hey, how's your office decorated? Like, do you want to walk in there? Is there a place to relax? Maybe you like sterile, and that's totally cool too. But do you actually enjoy being in the physical workspace? Again, salary, benefits, security, supervision, and your personal life. So there's your foundation. And then on top of that, achievement, autonomy in your ability to complete your job, recognition, advancement, and ability to learn and grow. So I'm sure you're seeing some of the same things. I don't need to say the same metaphors and stuff that I just said. One thing I would like to point out is, with advancement, achievement, it's natural for our minds to go towards salary and money and that. We live in a capitalist society. But there's all sorts of ideas, and I'm happy to walk around and talk to you about that. These could be, you could become the trainer. You could have a culture where people are encouraged to try something new and fail, and if they fail, sweet, because that means that they learned something. Within reason. You're in the medical field, right? But to try new things and see if other people want to do it. To buddy up with a new employee. Oh, the sky is the limit there. So yeah. All right. Questions on this? I feel like I'm doing well on time. So here's our Up in Lights formula: hygiene, satisfaction, those foundational needs met, plus motivational needs and autonomy. I also wanted to talk a little bit about the difference between joy and happiness. A book that I read called Joy Inc. it's a great book. I have his follow-up called Chief Joy Officer, which I haven't read yet. But in that book, the author talks a lot about people want to be happy at work, right? We want to be happy. But it's kind of a farce at work, because we're not going to be happy every day. You all treat kiddos who are doing great. You treat kiddos who are having a hard time, and that's not always happy. But joy is different, because I got satisfaction in helping someone or doing something good, even though it was hard. And that concept really sat with me, so I would invite you to think about that too. All right, I think this is my last slide. Yes, so now it's building time. So if you look at the handout, I have, and I'm happy to switch slides back if you want Maslow's theory up there or anything. The first sheet has that slide that I just showed you a few moments ago. And then I have 4 spaces. And I said this yesterday too. This is not a race to get a test done, but rather for you to pick something and do a really deep dive on it. You're going to obviously take this with you. You can make more copies. So don't feel like you need to fill out all the boxes. But what I want you to do is start with 1, maybe 2, but 1. 1 hygiene or foundational. Oops, sorry, I shouldn't put that over there. And 1 motivator. And think about what you do now, what's your current practice, and what could you do to improve it. And I'll pull a little software development theory in here too. The change can be tiny. In the same vein that I was just saying, celebrate mistakes, try something new. It could be a very small thing, and then if it works, build on it. And if it doesn't work, meh. Well, that didn't take too much effort. Now we can try something else. So yeah, and I will we'll have you work. I won't get mad if you start talking. I really won't. You totally can if you want to. But phase 1, we'll do about 10. We'll set a timer for 10 minutes and just think about it. Take some time to reflect, and then the following 10 minutes, I'll pair you up, and then after that 10 minutes, we'll do another 10 where we come as a group and share. And again, we are here, Grace, Emily, Lauren, me, we're here to help and to chit chat. So, all right, any questions before we get going? All right, let the building begin. First 10 minutes is up, so I hope you had some good brainstorming. So the next, and we'll walk around and chit chat, but next, get with a partner or 2. Yeah, with folks there's enough to pair up around, and share what your thoughts are. And learn from each other, see if you want to add, yeah. And then we'll do it in 10 more minutes. I'm excited, I love all the chatter. Now we'll come to the big group and share. I will share one comment that came in from online, and sorry, Melissa, and our virtual attendees if I misunderstood you, but she talked about the physical space of their office. It was new in 2011, so maybe some of you can relate to that. New in 2011, and now things are starting to look a little old, so spruce up would be good for morale. And I made a shameless plug for what I said before, that achievement can come in many forms. Like, I know as me being in a leadership position, sometimes I feel like if any idea comes up that I have to own it, and I'm really changing my ways on that. Like, where are the other talents? Who loves doing things? So I made a comment to that effect. She said, she's the one that loves to do it, and it's going to make her happy. So I was like, sweet, go you. But yes, all right, so which crew would like to share first? Any volunteers? Thank you, yay. Oh, it's for our friends online too. Lewis is coming. We have time for, yeah. He's on it. Thank you for patience. Sorry, we're just getting the mic for those online. We're just getting the mic to work, and then we'll be right back to it. Oh. Oh, it has a range.
1, 2.
Fantastic.
All righty. Hello?
Hello, yay.
I could do karaoke. Ready?
Yes, yes.
So right now, I put, under the hygiene foundational, I put work relationships, but it also includes personal life, so it's kind of intertwined. One of our employees named us the Tribe Family. We didn't come up with it, administration did, and she came up and said, this is my tribe, this is my family. We go as one, we work as one, we leave as one, and we try to be very cohesive.
Yeah.
It's hard as management to do that because you can't get, I don't like delving into personal life a whole lot because I like to separate the two. But when we go outside of our walls and we go as a tribe, we have each other's backs.
Yes.
And we're learning to be more, that's my improvement, more patient with the changes that come up in work life. I'm not childbearing years. Others are. Others need more time. I don't have school functions to go to, but she may. So we just have to learn to make sure we're more compassionate on that part of the life.
Oh, I love that. Yes. And that's meeting people where they are. That's inclusion, right? Fantastic. All right. Who else would like to share?
So I did the recognition, and so we try to recognize the small ones in the office.
Yeah, we put a little bit, you hit the universal, put the mic closer to your, thank you. No, you're fine.
We try to recognize the small things in the office. So what I do for my staff is I bought a roulette wheel on Amazon that's dry erase, and I put little things on it like leave a half hour early, breakfast on us, lunch on us, and if they're called out by a patient or one of the providers or owners, they get to spin the wheel. So we try to do that, but I feel like improving on that would be, I still think we point out a lot of the negative things in the office, and I think if we could pull out more positive things daily for encouragement, that might be better for morale.
I really like that. Do other people find that we tend, I mean, I think I find it in all aspects of my life, not just work, that we tend to talk about the negative more than the positive? Yeah. So what if there was like a balance? What I'm getting? Oh, yes, I'm going to try. So you have there's a roulette wheel, and if an employee gets a shout out from one of the providers or a patient, then they get to spin the wheel. And examples included were breakfast on you, leave a half an hour early, shout out one more.
Like a gift card.
Gift card, yeah. And then also made a point of, balancing the positive comments, because yes, we're naturally looking for things to improve, which is like, oh, this isn't working. I don't know. I would love to find a way personally to balance like a positive every time we say something Yeah, I also, as the People and Culture Champion, yes, I recognize that I am the centralized improvement opportunity. There's my diplomatic way of saying improvement opportunity centralization. So yes, that was great. Thank you for sharing. Somebody else.
I'll add. So we bought a deck of, not a deck, but like a stack of cards on Amazon for like $8, and they say on one side you are awesome, and they're blank on the other side. So if somebody does anything that is even remotely beyond what we expect them to do, we we give them a card, or we write a card for them and prepare for it, and then they see it in the morning when they come into work, and it makes them super, super excited. But it also makes everybody else who didn't get one want to get one, and then they're thinking, okay, what can I do today to get a card?
Yeah, I love that. And with any of the things that people did they become permanent parts of a process, or like what you do? Because that could really build on process improvement in a fun, organic way.
It made other team members want to do what they did,
Yes.
and keep doing what they're doing, yes.
I love it. Thanks for sharing.
I'll go. Okay. So I'm going to choose an easy one though. I did the physical location. Our space has very little no sunlight. And so I feel like for quality of life, that's really hard because you're there all day. So part of what we plan in the next few years is to remodel the space in such a way that like the sunlight will come from the front of the office all the way to the back for our staff, and also move so the front has windows. Nothing else has windows, to move the break room to the front, take over one of the waiting rooms, make the other waiting room smaller. And it was like basically just sunlight for mental health.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense, because the time that you all spend there compared to, yes, the patients are there, but their time during the day is hopefully that, like that. I love that. Does anyone else have offices without windows, and what were your remedies? I have lived in an office with no window. Well, it feels like I live there. I have had an office with no windows, and it can be really daunting, especially, in Vermont, it's very dark in the winter. So, yeah. Sorry, will you wait for the mic? Please.
She said they built a new
thank you.
office and put skylights in the waiting area.
Oh, yes.
The nursing area. Yes.
That's lovely. I will just make a plug. I bought a Happy Light this year. If any of you live in the Northeast, you can buy them on, I've found that whether they're the $200 ones or the $40 ones, they work great. Just search Happy Light in Amazon. But it mimics sunlight, and it changed my life this winter. Yes. Yeah. Because it would be dark when I started working and dark when I got out. Yeah. All right.
I had a Happy Light as well.
Yes.
My office was in a closet for 6 years, literally a closet.
Yes.
We talked about security. Like my office, we have policies in place, but then that's it. So trying to think of, creating and doing mock drills, because you hate to put a policy into place when something happened. So to have that in place before,
Yeah.
that would be much better. So
Yeah. Do a little role playing activity and get some snacks. I like that. But then you can all
snacks. That's a great idea.
snacks. Well,
People
you
do
know
a lot
our
with
love
food.
language is food here
People
at
do a lot
PCC,
when
so
there's
snacks
food
are
involved.
always included. But yeah, and then you could also use it as an improvement opportunity. It's like, oh, that step didn't make sense, or we nailed it. I like that. That's a good one. Has anyone else done role playing or theater Fridays? Let's try out this policy. No, I don't know. That'd be kind of fun. We should do that. Do we have something in here? All right. Mabel writes, we have a newsletter that we have every week on WhatsApp, and have all the shout outs on there. That's cool. Yeah, something so simple, but shout out this person did this and that. I like that. That's a good company meeting idea for us.
Did you notice the catch someone doing something good when you checked in? They have things right there when you check in saying, who did you catch doing something great at the hotel?
Oh, for folks who are staying here. I love that.
Yeah, for any hotel staff. Yeah.
I might go write something for the gentleman that brought me a Diet Coke when we were out. He was like, you guys are Diet Coke people. I was like, yes, I am. Awesome. Anyone else? I'm hearing a lot of, well, I guess some on the foundational side and a lot of motivators. Yeah, anything else? Anyone else want to share? We've got about 5 minutes left.
So I'm going to share. This is Lewis at PCC. I'm not on camera because I'm operating the camera.
Yes.
But one of the things is trying things and not being afraid to try them and not assuming they're going to be the forever things. It's a big thing that we do at PCC. It's like, we're going to change the world next week. But if it doesn't work out, we'll see what we like and we'll throw away the stuff we don't. And that's big because that means instead of having a fully baked plan, before you move forward with something, you can make little steps and you can work towards those goals. And it's really important because, we like to have everything perfect before it goes out the window to our clients for support, for the product. It doesn't always work out, and that's going to happen, and it's fine. And we learn and we move on.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Lewis. Yeah, and I am raising children right now, and I try to celebrate. It's very hard. It's my work life and my personal life, right? We act different. Trying to celebrate their mistakes too, like I do. Like if someone makes a mistake, for those of you who were in here yesterday, I'm also the HIPAA privacy officer, and I legitimately thank people for asking me questions because I want them to know that it's a safe place to come. Should probably be easier on the children around that. I don't know where I was going with that, but celebrate mistakes. And psychological safety is really big. It doesn't mean that, again, I know I keep harping on this happiness thing. It doesn't mean that you're happy all the time, but that you can ask the question and you're not like, oh no, is my head gonna be bit off or am I gonna be judged for that? Ask the question. That's something that John Canning is really good at. He wants all the questions. The more questions that are all over the place, the better, because then we know where people stand. Yes, please.
I would love some recommendations about how to foster that, because in the distant past, we've had people that didn't foster that, and
Yep.
our environment is different now, so I feel like we try to encourage speaking up, new ideas, asking questions, and a lot of times in our staff meetings, the floor is open and it's crickets. So if anybody
Yes.
has any thoughts about how to
Oh,
really
I'm seeing
encourage that would be
multiple hands go up because what we want to avoid is the meeting after the meeting. Because the meeting. Yes, please.
So what we do, we have a staff meeting, but we have somebody that is willing to speak to the doctors in the way they need to be spoke to. But like if we don't include the doctors in the staff meeting all the time simply because they don't want to speak up. So we do exclude probably once every other month that you're not in there. I take everything back to the doctors. I'll talk verbatim to what they see, and they don't know who it's coming from. They just know it's there. So you just have to have somebody that can speak up to the doctors without worrying that the doctor's going to send them out the door.
I like that.
I like that idea. What we do also is every year when I do reviews, I have them self-review themselves, and in that I also have them review me as their administrator and the culture of the office with the providers and everything, so that way I can get all that information and see what they are seeing, not only in themselves but in all of us as higher ups from them.
Yeah.
She asked if there was a form.
Oh, that's great.
I do
Oh.
actually.
She asked,
question-
do you get honest feedback? And she said, yes, I do, actually.
I feel like
This is great.
I feel like in that session, they know you're reviewing them, so I feel like they're more open to reviewing you at that same time because they're expecting you to be honest with their performance. So that's why I feel like there's a lot more honesty in that session.
In line with that, like when I did reviews, but thinking about the way you did it is better. I asked them, you know, what can I do to be a better boss for you? But I think in having it on paper gives them more time to think about it as opposed to just being put on the spot. So I do like that idea.
Great. We are 2 minutes out, and I just wrote down, I'm constantly thinking and listening to what you all are saying to say, what could we, oh, I can say it now because we announced the theme. How can we take this next year and keep growing? Like, what's the next thing that you want for employee engagement? Is it tips and tricks on how to hold annual feedback or feedback all the time, or models that help deal with conflict? Lauren happens to be an expert in that. So yes, you will get a survey plug for the survey. Let us know what you want. Not even, yes, the survey's great. We look at that, but I'm available anytime too. So we'd love to know what you want. Any last comments or questions?
I have one comment.
Fantastic.
Just in relation to what you asked, and it kind of got implied, but making sure there's more than one way of giving feedback, right? Having multiple ways. Some people are experts, think on their feet. Some people really want to think. So what are the paths to giving you that information? Just making sure they fit for different styles.
Yes. Yes, and I was my first thought there, I love it, what everyone said, and I love it when you all answer the questions because everyone's experts. In one-on-one settings, I find it, and then I can kind of tease out. Were you going to talk too, Louis?
I was actually.
I
It
love
goes
it.
back to the question that the gentleman in the middle asked about how do you, when you've got that feedback, how do you keep it going? There are lots of presentations that have happened throughout the conference, and there are lots of slides, and I review those because a number of sessions that I've been doing this on have discussed that whole concept of like, how do you build your community, what you're doing. Like I was in one with Chip this morning, and we're talking about like, if you're opening a new office, like, well, how do you take the culture that exists at your current office and move that to your other office, right? And you know what it means, who the people are. So it's like part of it is like coming up with your mission. Like, what's our mission? Do we all agree with it? And if you have a mission like that that includes positive feedback or discussion or open discussion and safety and all of these things that Megan's brought forward, it just means that you've got a starting place and everybody's on the same page. So like part of feeling safe is not only feeling like you can make a comment, but that you can make a comment and everybody knows that you're not being nasty or anything. It's like you need to say this so that everybody can understand what's going on. We show up for work every day. We don't know what everybody else is doing. All kinds of weird things happen, right? I mean, 2 years ago when folks were here, we had a massive flood,
Yeah,
right?
I was at home for much of
Right? I was here. Life was grand for me. Megan was having a completely different experience.
My raised ranch looked like a castle with a moat around it. Yes.
It was awesome.
Yes, it
But,
was.
like-
It was a lot.
So
Yeah.
part of it is, you know, having a mission, knowing what your values are. They're very important. We talk about them all the time.
We do.
It seems like an awful lot of the time, and they change, which is important to know. It may not be the same this year as it is next year. If you have a physician leave your group or a new person come in, they're going to come in with different thoughts and processes, and you like, do they fit you, or do you have to mold them, or what? All of those things. So
Yeah.
for me, the important thing is it's always changing. I worked for PCC for a long time, 27 years, and no year is ever the same, ever.
But our mission is always the same.
Yes.
There are some, and so I'm a yes and. Some things are unwavering. Like serving pediatricians and slow growth and being sure that our quality is there, I feel like that has never changed in the best way possible. And we have employees who have left because of some of our philosophies that don't align, and that's okay. So yeah, but we're like true to our roots, even though everything's changing. Oh my gosh, we should do this together next year. We're over time though, so finish it up. This is wonderful. I love it.
And when you have a mission, you share your mission. Because, you heard Chip, I think, on the opening day say that, one of the key things about PCC's mission is it's not money, it's solving the problem.
Yes.
That other part comes along, right? It's like, if you know that and everybody knows it, it's really easy to keep moving on. And when it doesn't align,
Well,
you pivot.
exactly. All right. That was such a great, thank you, Louis. Thank you. That was awesome. The chicken wing eating hot stuff I can't wait for it. It's at 2:30. So we'll see you. I'm not participating. Thank you, everyone.